Hey, what is up, people? This is Johnny, and welcome to Pokemon Theory. In today's Pokemon Theory, we're going to be discussing how long do Pokemon live. So, an interesting thing came to my mind the other day. How long do Pokemon actually live? What is the lifespan of a Pokemon? When I saw the Wartortle's Pokedex entry, it stated that this Pokemon it can live over 10,000 years, which is amazing. If you look at it, that's a really long lifespan. And I came across Ninetales as well, which can live over 1,000 years, which is pretty interesting. These Pokemon can both live outlive their trainers. That is freaking amazing of how long they can live. But we have to look at another perspective on this theory, that there's Pokemon that actually have died already and probably died before their trainers even died. So even before that, let's take for example that many people in Lavender Town, they always visit the cemetery in Lavender Town to check out on their Pokemon's tombstone. And their tombstones are right there, and their Pokemon probably died because of some reason, and they're mourning their Pokemon, and they have died. That means that there are Pokemon that actually could live lower years. The first thing I want to talk about the possibility of how some certain Pokemon may actually live forever. I already mentioned Ninetales and Wartortle, but I'm going to mention like the artificial Pokemon and the legendaries. These Pokemon could probably end up living forever because they have a much stronger way to live. For example, let's talk about Voltorb and Porygon. These two Pokemon seem to be kind of like artificially created by humans, because if you look at Voltorb, it's basically a Pokeball that probably somehow came into contact and became a Pokemon, or somebody did a experiment on it and became a Pokeball. Now Porygon was actually a human created Pokemon that was programmed to travel into other spaces or other dimensions like that, and it failed. So this Pokemon actually is created by humans. This Pokemon could outlive the humans in the Pokemon world. And now let's look at the legendaries. Now the legendaries are Pokemon that supposedly have the strongest powers, like Mewtwo, Ho-Oh, all of these Pokemon. They probably have a lifespan that actually takes them to live forever or longer, or years. Like let's say for example Zapdos or Articuno, they could probably live for 1,000 years and they won't die out. Or they might not even die out because they're legendary Pokemon. But I would say like even the Darkrai, Garantina, Dialga, those Pokemons cannot die because they are legendary Pokemon. They control space and time, and they're programmed to basically live forever on in the Pokemon world. So if you look at those Pokemon, they're able to live. But what about normal Pokemon? Normal Pokemon is a pretty bit interesting, because if you look at the lifespan, let's say a Pikachu could go ahead and live for a while and then actually die. Could it outlive Ash? For example, if Ash ever gets old at some point, will Pikachu outlive Ash and be able to live longer than Ash? It's actually a possibility that might actually happen, that Pikachu actually has more power to live on and on. Or if you look at it at this other perspective, when a Pokemon is captured by a trainer, that's when the Pokemon's lifespan is determined. Let's say for example Ash or Red as a trainer, they all been together for their Pokemon, they have bonded, and their Pokemon live on just to be with their trainer, keep battling until they can't battle anymore. And that, let's say for example, if the trainer dies, the Pokemon shortly ends up dying, or at some point the Pokemon may die because of age and the trainer doesn't battle anymore. And that's a quite possibility of what the lifespan may be for each different Pokemon. Now people say that of course that the lifespan of the Pokemon may be conserved through the Pokeballs, but if we look at the animes, usually when a Pokemon is sent to a Pokeball through the PC, they are sent to like some type of little daycare or somewhere, like where they keep Pokemon and they are all safe. They're not really into PCs. Now we really don't know what's inside of a Pokeball, so we can't really make a conclusion to how that would help the Pokemon's lifespan. But then again, we have to look at Pokemon battle. They tend to battle a lot. They could probably get worn out at some point of battling for years. that they'll eventually get old and tired, and you know, they might even become a little bit more weaker as they grow and battle and battle and battle. And you never know, they might actually have different ages as they go. So it might even get tired of battling that the Pokemon at some point is going to die. And there has been proof of several Pokemons dying in the Pokemon anime, because obviously the Lavender Town Cemetery. The last thing that we have to take in mind, that remember, these are Pokemon, they're different species, they're not all the same. Some will last longer, some will live shorter. That is always a possibility in the Pokemon world, that they will live different lifespans. For example, bug Pokemon may actually live a little shorter, because in real life, bug Pokemon, bugs, animals, tend to die faster. And you know, that's quite possibility, so it's interesting. Thanks for watching this Pokemon theory, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this theory. Also, let me know what are your thoughts of how Pokemon's lifespan may be different from each other. Also, if you haven't checked out some of my previous videos, make sure to click on those two boxes to go ahead and check them out. Thanks.